Imagine this. Germany, 1922. You live on a remote farm. One morning, you find a single set of footprints in the fresh snow leading from the forest to your back door, but none leading away. Strange, right? That's what happened at the Hinterkaific farm. For days, the Gruber family heard footsteps and odd noises coming from their attic. Their housemaid even quit, convinced the place was haunted. Keys went missing, a newspaper they never bought appeared, and they felt constantly watched. The father, Andreas, told neighbors he thought someone was hiding in their home. Then, one night, the entire family of 6, including the children and the new maid, was brutally murdered with a pickaxe. The killer then stayed in the house for several days, feeding the livestock and eating their food, before vanishing forever. This chilling, unsolved case remains one of history's most baffling and terrifying mysteries. What do you think happened? Let me know below. The second farm. 3 winters after Hinterkaific went silent, 30 miles away, another farm began to notice things that didn't belong. It started small. That's always how it starts. The first signs. The Bauer family woke one morning to find the barn door open, snow swept clean inside, as if someone had walked back and forth for hours. The cattle were calm, too calm, fed and watered before dawn. No one in the house had done it. That night, Herr Bauer heard slow pacing above the ceiling, each step deliberate, heavy, like someone learning the shape of the house by memory. When he climbed the ladder to the attic, the space was empty, but the hay was warm, and someone had rearranged it into a nest. The watching. Over the next week, things moved. A chair dragged closer to the parents' bed while they slept. Boots appeared by the door, boots that belonged to no one. The family dog began growling at corners, at walls, at the ceiling, until one morning it was found strangled with wire, laid neatly beside the well. No footprints led away, only toward the house. The man in the walls. The youngest daughter began whispering about the breathing man. She said he breathed when everyone else slept. She said he smelled like old iron and smoke. She said he knew their names. Her mother laughed it off, until she found finger marks in the soot inside the chimney. Too deep, too intentional, as if someone had been holding themselves there, listening. That night, the fire went out on its own. Something was blocking the flue. The night of silence. The neighbors later said they noticed smoke rising from the Bauer chimney for days after the family stopped answering their door. Inside, the scene was wrong. The bodies weren't hidden. They were arranged. Each family member lay facing the wall, except one, seated at the kitchen table. Herr Bauer's eyes were open, staring at a plate scraped clean. Above him, written in charcoal on the wall. I stayed. The pantry was empty. The beds had been slept in. Someone had washed their hands. The final detail. Investigators found footprints in the cellar dust. They led to a narrow crawl space behind the walls, a space no one knew existed. Inside it, they found straw, newspapers, a dull farm tool wiped clean, and something carved into the wood with obsessive care. 6 tallies. Then 6 more. No trail left the house. No suspect was ever named. And somewhere, farmers across Bavaria would later report. Fires burning when no one was home. Food disappearing overnight. Animals fed, doors barred from the inside. And the sound of someone learning the house after midnight. They said if you listened closely, you could hear it. Slow footsteps overhead. A calm, patient breath. And the certainty that whoever did this never left. I never leave. I always arrive before they notice me. That's the secret. Houses breathe differently at night. They loosen. They forget themselves. When the lamps go dark and the prayers stop, the walls soften. They open little places for me. Thin spaces where a man can wait without being seen. I listen first. I learn the rhythm of their sleep. The way the floor complains under weight. The way each voice sounds when it whispers fear instead of comfort. Families think they are loud when they argue. They are loudest when they dream. I don't rush. I never rush. The attic is best at the beginning. People don't look up unless they hear something fall. So I don't let things fall. I walk slowly, heel to toe. I let the beams remember me. They always sense it eventually. The father wakes first. He pretends not to be afraid. I like him for that. He checks the locks. He checks the animals. He never checks the ceiling long enough. He always looks away just before he should see me. I feed the cattle because silence unnerves them. I keep the fire alive because cold makes people alert. I eat their food because it teaches the house my smell. Soon, the house knows me better than it knows them. I move things only a little. A chair closer. A door not quite shut. Something small enough that they blame themselves. Fear tastes better when it grows slowly. The children know. They always know. They hear me breathing through the walls. They feel the warmth where I sleep. They stop asking questions when they realize the answers won't help them. I don't hurt them first. I don't want screams yet. Screams make neighbors curious. When the night comes, the right night, the house is already mine. They follow the sound because they need to understand it. They always need to see. One by one, they come where the light is poor and the floor remembers every step. I don't look angry when they finally see me. That's what frightens them most. After I stay. Of course I stay. Leaving would be rude. I clean. I sit. I breathe. I let the fire burn so the world thinks everything is fine. I sleep in their beds because warmth keeps memories quiet. The dead don't mind. They never move once they understand. Eventually, someone comes. They whisper. They stare. They ask questions to rooms that will never answer them. They write things down like words can trap a man who knows how to wait inside walls. I am already gone by then. Not away, just deeper. There are always more houses. Always more families who think a locked door means safety. Always another winter. And if tonight you hear something overhead, if your fire stays warm when you swear you put it out, if the house feels full, don't look up. I don't like being seen twice. The last farm. I chose the Weber farm because it was loud. Laughter rots faster than silence. 6 of them lived there. Strong voices. Strong locks. A father who checked the doors twice every night and believed that meant something. A mother who slept lightly. Children who still trusted mornings. I lived in their attic for 9 nights before I touched anything. By the 10th, the house was tired. I started with the animals. Not to kill them, only to make them afraid. Fear spreads better when it walks on 4 legs. The family argued about it. Blamed wolves. Blamed neighbors. Blamed each other. While they argued, I stood above them, memorizing the way their shadows bent under the lamp. I waited until the storm came. Storms forgive everything. The first scream cracked the house open. They ran the way people always run, toward the sound, toward each other, toward hope. I took them apart by separating them. One here, one there. Doors slammed. Lamps shattered. The storm swallowed the noise. I worked fast, but not mercifully. Mercy is a lie people invent afterward. I didn't see the sun at first. That was my mistake. He hid where I once hid, between walls, behind beams, inside the narrow place where breath has to be careful. He watched without screaming, without moving. He learned. By the time I realized someone was still alive, the house had changed. It no longer welcomed me. He came at me with something heavy. Not rage, purpose. The blow knocked me down the stairs I had memorized so carefully. The floor did not soften for me the way it always had. The house rejected my weight. I tried to stand. He didn't let me. What followed was not quick. He didn't shout. He didn't cry. He didn't ask why. He made sure I understood what was happening. Every part of me that had taken something from that house was taken in return. Slowly, deliberately, not out of madness, but judgment. He used the same patience I had used on others. The storm covered everything. I remember the ceiling most clearly. How far away it looked. How it never opened for me again. They found what was left at dawn. The survivor never spoke about the night. He burned the farm instead. Let the fire erase my hiding places. Let the smoke carry me somewhere I could no longer stay. They said evil had finally been destroyed. They were wrong. But I was. Because this time, I did not leave. I was ended. For more dark stories, subscribe and turn on the notification button for quick update. See y'all.